You feel
I can hear
amber.
myself.
All right, let's try that again now that we have audio. Hello, welcome everybody to episode 168 or 186.
Hooray! This is why, you know what? Sometimes it's a good thing to have the stream going while you're talking. You suffer through 10 seconds of doublespeak, and at least you can confirm that the audio is working.
Yes. Which
Uh,
that was a good filler of 10 minutes of epic failness. So
Well, off you go. Start talking again.
well, you know, we just gotta get Ryan to have to post a thing. It says, it's Harry sucks.
All right,
for the
so
first 10 minutes, there's
we'll
no audio.
rewind, and we won't even pretend that Duncan started. So it'll be me starting now that everything's proper. So what's been
Duncan,
played?
what?
Hello, Drew. How are you today?
Oh, hi, Drew.
1959. That's the same year my dad was born. You're old.
Ah.
No, he hasn't got long left himself.
Oh, that's not very nice.
You know, he does.
What?
He does the
I'm
very
on
nice
about
thing
Duncan.
of going into the chat, and then you just go, "You're old."
Yeah.
I'm
you're
on
so-
about
Nah, you're
Duncan.
kidding. I'm
Duncan's gonna
kidding.
be
You're
old
great.
soon.
Oh,
We are old.
born in six. Oh, okay. Attracting the older ladies crowd. Okay.
He just wants to look a little older, that's all.
This
So.
is definitely how the podcast is starting. By the way, that over a few minutes beforehand. No, that's getting cut. That's getting fucked off.
Oh.
Summer of '69.
So yes.
Everyone else is just going to have to assume what happened.
What have we been playing this week? I'll start with Minecraft. I've played Minecraft, and we broke the server, sort of, but fixed it, sort of, but broke it, but sort of fixed it, but sort of
You've
broke
not
it again.
fixed nothing.
Okay.
It works fine.
Well,
You
what
can't
happened
fix nothing.
with
It's
all this
fixed.
breaking and fixing? What was
So we're playing all the mods 7, which is the newest version of Minecraft, and basically as mods get released, they get added to it. And we've patched it a few times, so they've added and removed mods, which hasn't really broken it, believe it or not. That like
Wait, if you remove mods, then it's not all the mods. What?
they remove mods that are breaking things. But yes, I get what you're saying.
I'm being facetious.
It's a majority of the mods.
Yeah. And basically we ran into a bit of a problem where one of our storage systems, which was interdimensional storage, was starting to cause us issues.
I could see how that could be problematic.
Well, we have a terminal that can still go interdimensional from it, a wireless terminal. But we had it so that it was connecting to storages in multi-dimensions and stuff like that. And for some reason, it's supposed to work, and I have it set up the way it's supposed to work, but if we have a mining dimension, and if I have that storage system hooked up to the system, if you open the terminal, it will crash your game. Or it will lag your game out to the point where you're just going to have to restart your game. So we've removed it, and now everything works fine. Even with nothing on that side, like we had barely anything running on that, like barely any storage or anything. Like I imported all the storage from that world into the internal storage of the mod, thinking that maybe that was what was causing the lag. Like it stores items as data, basically, rather than actual items in a chest. And I figured maybe it was because there was so much stuff being stored outside of that mod that was causing it to not like it. It was just having too much synchronization problems with two different types of storage mods. So I thought maybe that's what was causing the problems. So I just imported all the items into its own internal storage, and it was still giving us the same problems. So I disconnected it, and then it works fine. So we decided not to use that anymore.
Trying to run Photoshop on a Windows PC.
Yeah. Trying to run anything on a Windows PC nowadays. Wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
I don't have an issue.
No, neither do I. But there's
by.
definitely issues. But
I
yeah.
used the Mac once. I got scared.
yeah, last time I used a Mac, they had one button on the mouse.
Yeah, You can alter that, by the way. It is a setting that you could have changed.
Not on the Mac I used. Not on the
One
Mac
button.
I used.
One button. This is...
It only had one mouse button.
It's just
Old man
hotkey
Mac,
to uninstall.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the last Mac I used. But yeah, other than that, I played the new TFT. Have any of you guys played the new TFT?
I have.
I haven't played League of Legends in like
And you're bad
2
anyway.
weeks.
You keep coming like 5th and 6th from that. Oh, you got a few thirds.
My very first game, I won. I didn't lose a single fight until 4 people were out, and then I lost every single fight after that and came in 3rd place.
What rank are you currently at?
I play Hyper Roll and I'm at 2600 or something.
Just what color? I don't really care what.
Blue.
Okay, that's good. I did one game and I ended up with blue. I came first.
You're not ranked. You're not seated yet. Then.
Nope, I still have to finish 2 more
Yeah,
games.
I need one more seat. I need one more game for seating.
He's gonna drop.
I can't drop from the position I'm in currently.
Yeah.
Even if I lose, I don't lose points.
Yeah, in Hyper, well, you'll lose points, but you don't lose the. Once you're seated, you can't go below whatever highest color you get to in Hyper Roll. It's kind of weird. So, like, say you need like 2,200 points to get to a certain color. You can go above that, get the color, and then you can drop as far down as you want, and you won't lose the color. Maybe not as far down, I don't know for sure, but we've gone pretty far down from where we were when we got it. Me and Dan have definitely gone down a lot since we got a certain color and didn't lose it. We've seen other people in the games that have that color and haven't gone down.
And lower than you.
Yeah.
Seen people with colors higher than you that are lower than you.
Yeah.
But no, I've had that problem before where I was just like, you know, I'm in like 1st place for half the game, and then all of a sudden it's just like 9 losses in a row, and then I'm just like, I come out in 5th place. I'm like, this just doesn't even seem like this should be possible.
Well, it depends. Anyway. Yeah, it depends on the game that you're playing. Like, there's different. Like when you're in Hyper Roll, you get bonus gold every time you lose. That's the only time you get bonus gold. Whereas in a normal game, you get bonus gold based on either a win streak or a loss streak, and you get a gold for winning. You always get 1 gold for a win. Whereas TFT, I think you get 1 gold or 2 gold for a loss. Or not, in Hyper Roll, you get 1 or 2 gold for a loss, but there's no win streak or lose streak or income.
Yeah, no,
so there's different. Yeah, so in Hyper Roll, sometimes the last place people are the more dangerous ones because they've lost so many more rounds. They have the ability to have higher gold because you can lose a lot more rounds early on when you're only taking 2 health or 4 health rather than later on when you're taking 6 or 8 health. But yeah, that's all I've been played. That's all I've been played. That's my English. That's my English for the day.
10 episodes, 10 minutes of silence. You've definitely played yourself.
Yes. All right, so Duncan, seeing as you've already sort of tried to talk about what you played while we were in our silence, what have you played?
Oh my God! Have you ever heard of this game called Ori and the Will of the Wisps?
Never. Totally didn't hear it 10 minutes ago.
So yeah, I did my 2nd playthrough on hard mode. Got the achievement for it. It's a difficult game to play on the higher difficulty. The boss fights, they have no chill. They will swat you.
No chill. No chill.
They have a billion hit points. Yeah, it's rough, but I got through it. You know, had a little cry at the end because it's a very sad game. And yeah, I'm thinking about going through later on easy mode to try and clean up some other achievements. There are some like ridiculous achievements in that game. It's like one, you got to beat it in under 4 hours, which sure is possible if you know exactly what to do. Or unless you know the speedrun route where you just clip through walls and shit the whole game.
Yeah, the guys who can complete a 20-hour game in 10 minutes because they found a glitch that brings them right to the end.
It's like if you wiggle at this wall for 15 minutes, you'll just go thunk and just appear in the final boss room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or get to this exact position and do a button combination or something.
And you'll rewrite the code and just execute credits. So what was that? Arbitrary execution of code? There's a word for it, but
yeah.
But yeah, do it under 4 hours. Beat the game without dying, which is really hard because there are parts where you can just instantly die, like get one shot by environmental stuff. Yeah, there's some pretty wicked stuff in Ori. Who knows? I would love to 100% it because it's one of my favorite games ever, but it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be some work.
My face is 10 inches tall.
What the hell did that come from?
I just put this to my face and I was like, it's pretty close.
There's that looseness.
I pulled it out a second ago because I don't remember why.
I just love the fact I'm not really paying attention and all I hear is that.
It was so worth it. But yeah, so environmental one-shots.
Yeah, because there's escape sequences where you have to run away from a thing that's trying to kill you, and if the thing that's trying to kill you touches you, you die, and that ruins your run.
So the boulder in Indiana Jones.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, indeed. Basically that.
On steroids.
Yeah, because there's multiples of them, and you have to do platforming through it.
Yeah.
It's it's not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it
100% completion, I expect.
I have actually already done 100% completion. That's easy to do.
Sorry, 100% achievement completion is what I meant to say.
Oh yes, 100% achievement complete. Yes, I did my 100% run, but yes, I would love to do completed that game. I've also been playing Pokemon, a little bit of Pokemon.
I would have never guessed. It was totally not live last night.
Pokemon.
You literally went live last night when I went to bed.
Yeah, no, I called it the late night edition. I invited one of my D&D friends to watch me. He hung out for about half an hour, just lurking. And yeah, I got a really godly mudkip.
A godly mudkip.
Just a really high level, or just a really good initial stats.
How pissed are you gonna be if you get a shiny Pokemon in your run?
Well, the funny thing about they have some provisions in the Nuzlocke community where a lot of times they say if you get a shiny, you're welcome to catch it. If it's your first Pokemon for the route, go ahead and use it. But if it's not, then you just kind of have to put it in the box. So it's
Yeah, but knowing you're gonna find a shiny Pokemon, and then you're gonna die.
I'm gonna find a shiny Pokemon, and then I'm gonna
to that shiny Pokemon.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna get a crit.
No, you're gonna die to the shiner.
Shiny Rayquaza. It's like, oh, nice. Let me just very delicately try to. Hyper Beam hits my face. I'm like, oh.
Sounds about right. Have you tried the new Pokemon game?
I have not played the new Pokemon game.
I like the new Pokemon game.
Are you talking about?
You not played it enough.
No, I have not.
Legend Arceus.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends, as everyone's calling it.
Yeah. I've talked to a few people, and a lot of people don't like it. And the one thing that is kind of a piss off about it is you can't duel each other. There's no player battles.
There's no co-op to it at all. That's
the closest
aspect to it.
Yeah, the closest thing that they have to social is you could trade. You can trade with people.
And rucksack collection.
Yeah, the rucksack collection, which is a merit system where you go to where other people have died, and when they die, they drop a few items into a rucksack, and you can go and collect that rucksack and just send it back to them and give them back their items, and you get some merit, which allows you to buy like leaf stones and stuff like that for evolving Pokemon.
Which you could just get if you sit there in a rift.
Pretty much. But it's a way to buy what you need rather than take a chance of getting what you need.
Does not take a chance. Just beat up something that needs it to evolve. They have almost 100% chance of dropping it.
I haven't been to a rift
see
yet, so
a-
stop spoiling.
Don't blame me for your unriftness.
It is a little odd though. It's like, one of the big things about the Pokemon franchise is that it's like it's a single player game, but like that social aspect has been a part of the franchise since the very beginning. You can't, they say gotta catch them all, but unless you buy 2 copies and have 2 Game Boys, you can't catch them all.
Yeah.
Unless you have a friend, and
Yeah,
you
they
have
literally
a
made
friend
it that way so that you had to get each of the types when they make them, when they release it, like black and white or
Oh yeah.
whatever it was. Like there was always a few Pokemon, 2 or 3 Pokemon in each one that could only get caught in one color and the other color, or one type and the other
Hey,
one.
wait. Technically, they could have done that with Arceus because we already have a Pokemon Devil. He lives in another dimension and looks like a giant flying slug.
Stop ruining things. I don't know
What do
this
you
stuff
mean
yet.
ruining things?
I don't know this shit yet.
All you need to know is Pokemon to know this. You do not need to know Pokemon Arceus.
I don't know this thing. You're talking about stuff I don't know yet.
I don't even know what Steph's talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about yet. So.
Fucking giant devil slug.
It's
Whatever, I don't
been
know.
around since Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
You're a Diamond and Pearl. Oh, are you talking about Giratina? Is that
Garantina's class is the Pokemon Devil.
he's guaranteed to ruin your game.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
He's the black flying thing that has claws. It literally is just a slug with 4 legs.
Couldn't someone just drop a picture of Giratina in the dev chat for old Harry here?
Apparently, I don't play that much Pokemon.
Here, I'll
Yeah,
go ahead.
give him the Pokemon Devil.
Here, Pokemon Devil. Where the fuck is dev chat? Bam.
He'll find it soon later.
Thunk.
Never seen that Pokemon in my life.
It's
And
one of
yeah,
the- it's
Never.
one of the legendaries in Gen 4. It's
it is like it's the opposite to Arceus, basically.
It's not Mewtwo, so I don't care.
You can't get Mewtwo in Arceus.
I
Too
will get a
bad.
Mewtwo in Arceus, I promise you.
For one, you can't because Mewtwo's a future Pokemon. Literally.
Yeah, but Drew, what we're saying is like there is no way of doing any social aspect. The only social aspect of this game now is literally going around and collecting satchels of random people. It has nothing to do with anybody you know.
In fact,
And-
as a matter of fact, for the sounds of it, the only social aspect to this game is one that involves people not being in the same room.
Yeah, and then there is trading. You can trade. So it's kind of, I don't know. They removed one of the main features, which was building up your Pokemon and battling your friends.
They need to have a co-op DLC for Arceus.
They are
They
bringing out
probably would.
they are bringing out a DLC, so I'm wondering if they're going to bring back the
They've already
battling.
said they've got a number of DLCs planned out.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring out what's it called? Battling. They probably just
Co-op would be a very interesting way to. This would be a very interesting engine to try and run a co-op.
Well, what I would like to understand is, call me a noob, but I got attacked by 2 Pokemon, and I could only use one. Where's the balance? That was mean.
That's about right.
That was mean because there was these 2 Pokemon that
What
ganged
you
up
meant
on
to
me.
do? What you meant to do there is don't send your Pokemon out from and just run.
It was mean.
To be honest, you can send your Pokemon out in this and run away while it's your turn, and as soon as you get too far away, your Pokemon comes back.
Yeah.
And just goes, "You've left the battle." It's like, get away.
Yeah, that's a kind of
Very good.
overpowered way of running. Because like I think if you flee, you automatically flee anyways.
Oh yeah, you automatically basically retreat, but the wild Pokemon will be close to you and come after you.
Yeah, and they can actually attack you in this game. Your person,
Yes.
not your Pokemon. Yeah, this one's kind of weird because it almost turns you into the Pokemon. Like normally the Pokemon were hiding in the grass. Now you're the one running around hiding.
Have you seen that meme where it's like you had Pokemon in the grass, now it's Pokemon were looking for you in the grass?
Yeah.
Was this game developed in Russia?
Who knows? In Soviet Russia, Pokemon hunts you.
Pokemon find you in tall grass. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like, wow, look, there's actually like consequences of like Pokemon being terrifying monsters that roam the earth. It's like they're like playing that off. It's like, yeah, you like canonically you can legitimately die in Pokemon. That's we've always thought that might be possible, but now it's actually on screen.
See, there's another meme with this as well, where it's like the Pokemon avoided the move. So Pikachu avoided a Hyper Beam, the trainer didn't.
Yeah,
because
Hyper Beam's going in a straight line for the Pokemon, the trainer's right behind it.
And the Pikachu's just thinking, "Oh boy, I can't believe I dodged that. That was really close."
Looks back.
Isn't that right,
Oh.
trainer? It's just like ash. It's like just drifting down.
Just
like,
no, all you on in the meme that it is, all it is the trainers. There's literally the top half of him's gone. It's just these trainers are left.
You and
Yeah,
your
that's how they
silly
did it.
British terms.
I was like,
What,
Trainers.
sneakers?
I'm like, oh.
What, do you want sneakers? Don't sound that good when you're a trainer.
Sneakers would be better.
It makes more
No, you
sense to us, but trainers does sound funny.
Everyone knows you sneak.
You can't sneak in trainers.
Shoes, whatever. Runners, even runners.
Runners? Runners?
Sure, why not?
Uh,
I have to admit, I have liked Pokemon Arceus.
I like that. I think that was supposed to be like, "Don't worry, Stefan," but it says
No.
worry, Stefan. That's
Yeah.
like, I was gonna say, it's like that, the way that comes out is it's like, I'm gonna worry Stefan by telling him that I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, why would that worry me? Why should I be worried? He becomes worried because he thinks he should be worried.
I really should start putting the chat into the videos.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I gotta. What OBS do you use?
Just standard OBS.
Like OBS Studio or
No, just standard OBS.
there's such thing as just OBS?
Well, OBS Studio, not the what's it called ones. Yeah, just the basic OBS Studios.
Okay, well, I use OBS Studio too, and I went through this hassle before, and you can't just put a chat like window in your OBS. What you got to do is you have to look up the exact details of how it works. Basically, you have to create the widget in Streamlabs.
I believe Ryan's already got the widget.
Copy and paste the widget from Streamlabs into OBS. If you do that, you can get it in OBS Studio, but you can't actually create it in Studio. If you try to create it in Studio, it'll look like shit, and you won't like it.
Well, I'll sort it out at some point. Smash.
Duncan, smash!
All right, let's move on to what Stefan's played. Unless you're done.
You do that while I go to the
Well,
bathroom.
I've not been in on a very long time.
Yeah, you don't like to show up anymore. You hate us.
It's you. You scare me sometimes.
Well, I wasn't here for the last 2 weeks. What's your excuse then?
I wasn't well. I was sleepy.
Sure.
I've not even been online half the time. I've been asleep.
And you've been away. You're on vacation for a while.
Yeah, as away for a week as well. But I've played Pokemon Arceus. I played LOL. I'm also playing some.
What's your favorite LOL build right now? Well,
right now with the new stuff, the only build I still like my Chemtech. I still like that. I have not tried what do you call it out? Yeah.
Hextech? Striker?
No, Hextech I've tried. I've tried
the one that has the VIP?
No, I've tried Dapper.
Debonair?
Yeah, Debonair. I just call it fucking Dapper. It might as well be just Dep. I've tried that. I'm not that fond of that one. I don't like that as much.
The Deborah build? What?
Yeah. Debonair.
The Debonair build.
Deborah. It's just Deborah.
The Deborah build. I don't like the Deborah build either.
I don't like the Hex Tech. I like the Hex Tech. Every time I've played Hex Tech, I've come in the top 2.
I've only built a little bit of Hex Tech. I haven't built a lot of it yet. So
You built Hex Tech, that slasher one, didn't you?
Striker, yeah, Hex Tech
Yeah,
Striker.
that's what I built in my last game.
It worked out for me that first game, but I tried it again after, and it didn't work out for me.
Sure, I've not had an issue with it.
Well, it wasn't terrible, but some people I couldn't beat.
I do want to retry Challenger with the new creature. Well, the new ones in.
I think if you can merge Challenger and Hextech, it might be a pretty good.
There's not enough Hextech in Challenger.
I was just thinking because the shields, because a lot of the times the Challengers can go down pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you're having that first initial start shield, and then, but you're right, there isn't enough Hextech, but you can make Hextechs. So if you happen to get enough to make some Hextechs.
Yeah, but that means almost all your items are going to be Hextech built items.
Yeah, but I can see that being useful because of the shields every 6 seconds and just shields in general for a little bit more sustainability.
Yeah, I did.
Someone who can hurt you.
I did build one before, and it got me 3rd. I think that's the lowest I've been so far, and this is 5th.
Yeah, I've had a couple rough games.
I have not played the new TFT yet. I should try it out.
Yeah, you probably should.
You should try.
What else have you played?
Pokemon Arceus I've played. I've technically completed it. I'm just sat there waiting. I'm not sat there waiting. I'm trying to catch more shiny Pokemon for some reason.
I'm gonna throw out a fishing rod real quick and ask who's played Lost Ark, because I've seen a lot of people playing Lost Ark.
Oh yeah, I'm playing that currently. I'm currently playing that right now.
I'm trying to see if I can get Ryan to speak up as well. But
Ryan won't speak up.
Right? I guess you won't. I'm also in the middle of playing it right now, max level, and I'll say max level.
It's 50.
Okay, so the max level is 50.
No,
it's 60.
60. Oh.
But it's so slow to level.
60 are bonus levels, effectively.
Oh, okay. Because I was asking, I was talking about it to Danny yesterday, because I'm surprised Sapphire's not trying that game out, because it seems like something that's in her ball house.
Ballpark.
Do people have entire houses for their balls?
Yeah, some of them, I'm sure.
For cherry, yeah.
With some people's money, I'm sure they have. But
wow.
What?
Anyway, we weren't talking about WoW, talking about Lost Ark, weren't we?
Yes. So I was talking to D about it yesterday, and couldn't get that much information out of him. That besides, it's like Diablo.
It is it's a Diablo-like, but with free-to-play gaming mechanic. Not enough that you need to do anything with them at this current time. So they have loot boxes, but honestly, you can just fuck them off.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games that you can earn the stuff without paying money for.
Correct.
Which is nice.
Just the usual, like you can pay a little bit to get a few extra benefits. Like a mini subscription in a sense. But yeah. What's it? It's very Korean fare. You've been brought from a period of time to prevent demons taking over the world, and you'll go through
Pokemon Arceus.
You'll go through various RPG tropes as you go. I'm a little bit further than Stefan, but you've got It's like there's a continent that's high fantasy, so it's like elves and dwarves and shit like that. Once you finish in that area,
I've met a dwarf.
You are a dwarf.
No, I'm a shadow hunter.
You'll take a boat, and then you'll end up in a land full of like tiny plant people. So it's basically Fern Gully. Then you'll end up on another island, and you'll enter a martial arts tournament, a little bit like Jade Empire. and now I'm in some sort of like mix between Final Fantasy VII and Nier Automata. With machines gaining sentience and wanting to take over the world.
Oh, well, that sounds like a concerning prospect.
Ah, we've seen Terminator. We'll win.
Do we win in Terminator? Every time they beat the Terminator, they remake the games, and then we lose again, and we have to defeat them again. This is like, I feel like the robots are kind of writing the script at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe they've already taken over. We just didn't know. Which is why they keep winning.
Yeah, everyone knows. Yeah, secretly, the deep lore is that the Matrix is actually the sequel to the Terminator.
Oh, where we actually try to fight back.
Yeah, the Matrix takes place after the Terminators have already taken over everything, and now we're
fighting back.
We're in the thing. And
fuck the machine.
I mean, good for you. You're
and
saying that from
I've been wiped.
construct.
I've been wiped from the database.
Yeah, nobody remembers that you were here, and I'm hosting. And like,
that'd be funny if just I somehow blocked myself out. It was just like gone.
Rip.
Oh.
Don't use this podcast if you want to live.
But you know, seems like regular MMO business going on. Men look like refrigerators, women look like porn stars. It's all familiar stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Duncan, prior to what he's been doing, saw both my warrior and Stefan's assassin. And, well, let's think of it this way. My character's got enough clothes to have, outfit the pair of them.
Which is good, because Steph's character is not wearing any.
I don't pick what she wears.
Sure you don't.
You do put armor on her.
I'll give you this to have a very quick discussion. Someone went on the Lost Ark forums and was having a go at Amazon politicizing females in the game, because the default armor for assassins in the Western version of Lost Ark is a full pair of leggings, where in the Korean version it looks like she's wearing, well, basically it's just underwear.
That's what she looked like to begin with.
Yeah, but
she looked like she weared hair heels with a thonga and a bra.
His serious argument was, what is the point of the female form if I can't just oogle at it like a lech?
Yeah.
Keep it in, Duncan. Keep it in.
I mean, you know, there's a few reasons for it to exist, you know.
I mean, I used to follow the old WoW adage of, make a female character because you're always going to see her behind anyway. But then, you know what? I've grown up.
Yeah, you made a female arc.
Well, plus you've also, you've also respect, so to speak, since then. So
yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything to you anymore.
Hey,
I can still have a nice look. It's just
you can appreciate
the end goal doesn't. Yeah.
Let's segue into the news about your news article that you put on about increasing
sexism. What?
Not quite. Increasing the EU servers or Lost Ark EU servers capacity.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to happen.
And how Amazon says it's not possible.
Amazon, good joke. You are literally the richest company on earth. You can't increase your fucking server space. Go fuck yourself. Of course you can.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Their excuse is that Smilegate's architecture, Smilegate being the developers of Lost Ark, didn't ever take into consideration the popularity aspect outside of Korea.
But what does that have to do? Like, does it mean like it all has to be run on one server base or something? Or
apparently, their architecture is just very, very narrow.
So it can't like multi-server and integrate together properly, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like if we take into account the major issue was Europe, and at the time there was only one server rack for Central Europe, and everyone in Europe went there because that's the only European server. It got hammered, and off it went. So only recently they've now added EU West, which has its own set of problems because
which has only just got login rewards and bonus things.
Well, no, they've caught them up because the login window was supposed to be from the start of the game, and obviously EU West hasn't been around since the start of the game, so they just accelerated that a little bit. But the main one was that they were trying to persuade people to make new characters on EU West. So all they've done is that people now trying to log in the game to make their first characters are going to go onto West. That doesn't solve the problem of people in Central trying to get on with the characters that they've already rolled.
Yeah, they don't want to make a brand new character when they already have a character.
Yeah, and you may be asking the great question, well, will they transfer the characters over to the server? Yeah, no. That's only just launched in Korea in
It's
the
just
past
like,
couple of weeks.
eventually, I mean, maybe it's not a guaranteed thing, but eventually we are going to just acknowledge the fact that there's 8 billion people on Earth, right? Like, we're going to
Yeah,
we're at some point, people who make these things, who make technology, are going to realize that there's just too many people to be stupid when it comes to designing their technology.
I have to say, like, I'm not a very good coder. Very minimal coder, if anything. Don't tell Perky that. Don't upset Perky, please. But yeah,
Eh,
like,
Perky's rewriting his own code by the sounds of it.
yeah, he had to. I couldn't keep up. But yeah, one of the first things that I learned is you have to build all of your codes into modules that can be called by a command or other codes of some sort. Because I do have my, okay. Because of, if you want to change something, you don't want to have to go through and rewrite everything to do the new function. So it all has to be easily modular. So say I wanted to import data to a spreadsheet. I would make a little module that would receive that data and write it to a spreadsheet. And then I would make a module to write, take the data from the user and write it out into a format that other module can use. And it sounds like this has not done that via the fact that they can't transfer user or characters and stuff like that. It sounds like it's all written into one major system.
It's like how I just don't understand how this can happen like every single time a new major release comes out. We're batting 1,000 and getting about a 900 score on terms of AAA games that release and don't have enough server space for the players that want to play it. Like, it's getting ridiculous.
Well, what
Like,
I don't understand is, okay, I can understand, like, getting flooded when it first releases. But why don't they buy a shitload of servers at the beginning, spend a little bit of money, because you're getting a lot more money up front for games, because games then start to go on sale and you get less money later on. But when a game first releases, it's always at the max price that it's ever going to be. It doesn't go up later in life. It goes down later in life. So bulk buy some servers or bulk rent some servers at the beginning to handle the initial rush.
it's a write-off. It's a tax write-off.
Probably.
And, as the game declines in popularity, you can sell off all your
Yeah.
extra server space. And Lord knows, freaking video games companies need extra servers. It's always going to be a secondary market.
That's what I was saying. If you buy the servers, then you can rent out your servers to other people and get your money back. Or if you're renting servers, all you have to do is stop renting so many. Have a way that you can migrate all your information from those servers onto other servers and stuff like that. It's not that complicated of a process. You just have to make your systems compatible with it. But apparently it's rocket science nowadays to be able to handle. But that being said as well, the gaming communities have exploded compared to what they used to be. There's a hell of a lot more gamers now than there was when just even us were young. Like, when we were in school, not very many people played computer games.
No. Not really.
And so when you found someone who played computer games, you were like, "Oh my god, he's my new best friend." But
But it's like like I say, it's not like this has suddenly become a problem in like the last 6 months or the last 2 years. Like,
no, it's been
it's like
growing.
a decade now. Like
Yeah.
every fucking game that comes out, there's server problems. There's not enough space.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Game dies off in freaking 6 months or whatever.
What I find
People
funny,
get tired of queues.
what I find funny though is like games like StarCraft, original StarCraft and stuff still have game servers alive. Like
Oh yeah.
games that are
Oh yeah.
20 years old still have game servers alive.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, people they if the game is really good and it's got some level of some sort of modability, the games can have extremely long
Yeah,
trailer
lifespans.
lives. They can very long lifespans, and yeah.
But yeah, so it sounds like from what Ryan was saying, it's hard to find everything in this article. It's
like
pretty long, but
it's like all I can think of is that, like it's just like a business thing where it's just like we're not gonna buy enough servers to play the number of people that we know are gonna want to play it first because we know that in 6 months there's gonna be a quarter as many players, and it's just gonna be a
unfortunately,
waste of
that's how this
time.
world works.
And so we're just gonna why
We're gonna
spend
aim for the
money on
middle
that?
ground, not the foreground.
Yeah, and it's just like it's like I can understand that business model, but again, it's just like it sucks.
Yeah, and it turns people off of your products. And
off of you if it becomes a consistent problem.
Yeah. And like from what Ryan and them are telling me, you can purchase stuff in game. So you want as many people to join, you want as many people to get on this as possible to buy your stuff that you can buy on either the website or in game or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's effectively the lifeblood of a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
Is those microtransactions, like them or not. I mean, it's not like we've paid to then pay more. This one is a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, see, that's the biggest thing that this game has going for it. Okay, the server problem, the biggest portion of their server problem is the fact that they can't do anything about it. When it comes to a free game, yeah, it's kind of hard to front a whole bunch of money to rent a shitload of servers. If you're not going to get any flow of income. But like, if you know that you're going to have, if you ever get to a point where you're hitting your server limits, work on adding servers. Don't just say it's not possible. And if it's not possible because of their coding, then they should not be making games.
Need better coders.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like one of the first things I learned is to make it upgradable. Like you have to. You can't limit it.
Yeah, and like I say, like I was saying, like from the business side of things, it's a tax write-off. It's a big expensive when you get it first time, and you got depreciation. You can write that shit off over the course of the next 3-4 years, a little bit at a time. You still get income from your free-to-play things. It doesn't actually change your actual income. It only changes your taxable income. So it's a big old write-off, and you get a whole lot of tax-free income over the next few years while those servers depreciate. And when they sell off, sell them for scrap, sell them secondhand, make a few bucks, whatever.
It's even more money coming back.
Yeah, no, it's you can make it work. You just gotta have some foresight.
All right, so let's move on to this next one. This one, oh, I didn't put the sources in. Let's do this. That was the first source. Here comes the second source now.
Here comes the sauce. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sauce.
No, I'm not trying to bold the text. Oh yeah, so this one is talking about how Epic Games is starting to hire a lot of its temp testers. As full employees, basically. Sorry, let me read this. But yeah, basically, a lot of their quality assurance testers are Is that what it says? Blah, my brain is not doing it. I hate that I can't
Someone's
pull it on.
brain.
I hate that I can't pull it on my main screen, or it'll screw up all the cameras. But yeah, basically they're just hiring. Yeah, they're just putting them on as full-time quality assurance testers. So if anybody's looking to become a tester, join that.
Well, I mean, they're hiring from their existing workforce. They're just,
Yeah,
they're
well,
just
they're. I'm
turning
assuming
them from.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming they were
they were
being
just like
paid.
on contract. They're just like on contract for like a temporary,
Yeah.
like whatever, 3 month, 6 month,
Yeah,
work
they usually
contract,
be.
and then they're just gonna be like full time employees.
Yeah, so it's used to be instead of like getting QA testers for the late stage of a game project, they're now just there
That's just
ready
now
to be
their job
testing
is to
for
just do that
Yeah,
kind of
every
stuff.
project.
they're on call basically. Hey, we got this next game
Which
that
I'm
you need
like,
to test.
hell yeah for that. First of all, I'm a big fan of, because that's like one of the biggest plagues of the employment world right now is temp jobs and seasonal work. Is just like, people talk about how many jobs they add on and after X recession and X calamity, but a lot of times that's just like, it's all a part-time and temp jobs.
Yeah.
And you fast forward 6 months, none of those people have those jobs. They might have different jobs, but those jobs don't exist anymore. So yeah, I'm all for that. Shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot nicer. It's a lot easier to trust like that they're actually gonna test your game out and stuff like that. Because you know their history, you know their track record. And they also
Sure.
know how to deal with your company. Whereas if you have temp people that are joining companies and leaving companies, they don't necessarily know who to talk to about certain problems and stuff like that. Whereas if they're more
Plus,
used to the company.
And the big problem with people who are on contract all the time is just like, a lot of times when you get a new set of QA testers, it's like,
They just want a
what-
paycheck.
well, yeah. Plus, it's like, how do you know how much experience, how do you know how much value they're giving you? It's like,
Yeah.
if they're a full time person, like they can get some experience, they can get used to this job, and they can, over time they can acquire some, maybe some valuable
Yeah.
information and insight into projects. So that sounds like a big positive to me.
It's
You don't
definitely
really hear a lot of like, oh man, this is just a strictly good piece of news information when it comes to like large gaming companies. It's like, yeah, go Epic Games. Good for you guys.
Well, with all the negative stuff that has been going on around Epic
The
Games and
gaming
stuff.
Epic Games and just the gaming industry in general, which is just kind of in a flaming inferno of pain the last like 5
Yeah,
years.
Drew has a point. A lot of times when you have a temp worker, they become yes man, or sometimes the exact opposite. Sometimes
Right,
they
yeah,
just
'cause
don't
then
even care. They're like, well, it's only temporary. I'm only here for a few months. I'm just gonna
yeah, they don't
do
care. They
do
don't
what I have
try
to
as
do just to get through.
yeah, they're either like not putting in their best effort because I know they're getting fired anyway, or they're just being positive and just being
Hoping
nice
to get hired.
people because they want to get hired again.
Yeah.
Because no one likes it to hear negative.
Well, yeah, like a
feces.
lot of temp agencies, like they'll put you at a place for 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is, and that company can usually re-request you if they want, if they like you, but you're still on a month-to-month contract or however long the contracts are. So depending on your personality, you might be a yes man, or you might be the exact opposite and not really care. Because it depends on the type of temp agency too. Like if you're at one that's just trying to find you a job and you don't really want to work, but you're sort of forced to by your government or whatever, you might just not give a shit and literally just go to the place and who knows, do whatever you're gonna do. So we got one more news article to touch on, and if I'm not mistaken,
the doozy of newsies.
the Kotaku website doesn't usually work for me. I think I might have fixed it though.
There is a particular word in the title of this article that just makes me laugh so hard.
What? NFTs?
No, no. I mean, that's a joke in and of itself, but it's kind of a meme at this point. I like the worth in quotation marks.
Oh yeah,
That's a fantastic piece of punctuation right there.
yeah. I'm not a big
Please,
fan of
please say the headline.
NFTs
No one is. The only people who are a fan of NFTs are people who own NFTs.
that are making money off them. That are actually not so much the people that own it, the people that are selling them. That's true.
Yes,
You
that's
you
true.
you purchase one, you're like, oh look, I got this NFT that's
you're
worth
right.
so much money, and then you're like,
You're right. You are right. Most of the people who own NFTs realize that they've made a terrible mistake and are trying to sell them.
they're like, oh look, I got this NFT that's worth $300,000. Does anybody want to buy it? No,
And everyone's just like, yeah,
no,
no, I already have, I have that saved on a drive.
yeah,
I
or
right-clicked to save.
yeah. Or it's like, yeah, I don't really care about that much. I don't want to spend $300,000 on that. But yeah, so some hacker steals NFTs worth millions from OpenC users.
So allow me to just
what
get
is
my
OpenC?
very small point out of the way for this first.
What is OpenC? Does anybody know what OpenC is? I don't know what it is.
I have no
I
idea.
I assume it's some sort of. Hold on, you keep talking about it. I'll try
All
and
right.
find.
Well, whatever OpenC is, the alarm was sounded yesterday, and let's see when this article came out. The article came out
Oh.
yesterday, so 2 days ago, the alarm was sounded. Some
Okay,
users began
OpenC,
noticing that
just
some
to
of the
continue,
NFTs. Okay, go ahead.
OpenC is self-proclaimed the largest NFT marketplace, which again I refer back to my original point of.
But
Please
yeah.
continue. Sorry.
All right. So the alarm was sounded 2 days ago when some users began noticing that NFTs, including some Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club JPEGs, were missing from their wallets. Aside from the fact that it appears to have been work of some single person, or at least a single account, that we all know for sure at some time of posting.
That's all we know for
Yeah.
now.
How all stuff went missing, and just how much the heist is worth. They're calling it a heist. The heist.
quotation marks.
And again, the
heist-
heist
heist
is
was-
a heist. It's
yeah.
the worth again.
Yeah.
It's in quotation marks, which is again
Uh.
the best part of punctuation.
So OpenC founder and CEO Devin Finzer says the site is fine, and that as far as we could tell, those affected were the victims of a phishing attack.
I hate it when I get attacked by fish.
Yeah, fish are mean. They keep spawning in my email.
I keep-
Stop
okay.
making babies in my email.
See,
I
this
got
is
hit-
the point
I
where
got
I'd
hit in the face
normally
with a fish
say.
once.
You see, this is normally the point where I would say people who bought NFTs should be smarter than to fall for a fucking phishing scam. But then again, they bought NFTs.
Yeah.
It's like you bought an infinitely replicable piece of internet data.
Yeah, you bought something that you can claim is only yours, but if you post it anywhere, anybody can just either screenshot it or save it to their own computer. So, I don't know. People are special. That's all I can say. We love you. We also hate you at the same time.
Now, I'm not normally an advocate for, just piracy and theft and stuff. It's just like, you know what? NFTs, pirate away. Go for it.
Yeah, it's
Yar har.
the only time I could see it being
High
useful is like I went through this with I think it was Stefan and Dan a while back. Certain things like items and stuff in games or emoticons and stuff like that, where like in Steam you can buy a certain emoticon, and
Sure.
if you own that emoticon, you can type it in chat. Like
yeah, we've had. I remember that.
the whole pickle commercial where the guy bought out all the pickles on the Steam workshop. And basically cucumbers, yeah. And he increased the price of the cucumber market. And you can literally only type that emoji the amount of times that you have that item in your Steam wallet. Like, that I can kind of understand of having some sort of value.
Yeah.
Like, if it's an item in a game that you can use.
It is funny, like that basically is what people want NFTs to be.
Yeah, and
that
there
already
are
exists in the Steam marketplace and other games.
Yeah, but apparently there's like worlds, like virtual worlds that you can put your NFTs in, and people can go to your home in the world. You can buy real estate in that world and put your stuff in there as like a museum kind of stuff.
You've entered
Oh,
the other
are you talking about-
catchphrase, the metaverse.
Oh,
Metaverse,
boy.
yes.
Good old Metaverse.
Um,
Can't wait for that flan to collapse.
yeah, in situations like that, I can kind of understand it because like you can show like it's the same reason like museums keep people coming. They have artifacts and stuff from history or whatever.
Metaverse, also known as VR chat for boomers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, look how museums keep people coming. They get stuff that they can get people to want to see and pay an admission fee to come see.
Well, specifically, the thing what's great about museums is that the things that are in the museum are, they're unique. You can't make more of them.
Well,
They're
that's
they're finite.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying
Sometimes they're one of a
about
kind.
NFTs is you can sort of have a finite amount of those things.
Right,
but
there's no regulation to make them finite. That's the problem. There's no infrastructure to limit them. As long as you have a computer
there is
with a mouse.
But it's just like with how detailed printers and stuff are now and cameras. You could take a picture of the Mona Lisa and make an almost exact replica of it, and without physically breaking it down and looking at the paint and stuff like that, you would never know that it's a replica just by looking at it. Like, you'd have to get physically close to looking at it to see. Sure. And that's the problem, is the only way to tell if an NFT is the real one or not is to look at its code. And if someone posts an NFT and you save it to your desktop, it now has a different code. It's not the original. It's a copy. It's a fake, basically. But how can you tell by looking at it? Like,
yeah, well, it's like I guess we just need to get to a point where like that somehow matters to people. Like we care whether or not you own the original Mona Lisa in real life. If you had that, it'd be like, oh, that's like kind of a conversation piece.
Yeah.
But like if you just have like a print of it framed in your study or whatever, it's like, oh, that's cute. I mean,
yeah, it'd be different if like the only way it had
somehow make that matter in the virtual world.
Yeah, the only way that print would matter is if the artist of that either signed it or made it or something like that right now.
Can we resurrect fucking Leonardo
DiCaprio? DiCaprio.
Did Leonardo da Vinci get him up here and like get an autograph for my fucking Mona Lisa print?
Yeah.
I want to see him at the next fucking like Anime North or Con Bravo or whatever. Just like it's like that's Leonardo da Vinci, like the one, the guy.
But yeah, like that's my only fight for NFTs.
Mona Lisa cosplays in the queue going up to the place, taking selfies with them.
But yeah, that's my only fight for NFTs is they have to have some sort of a use and some sort of a limiter to keep its value. So, like, Steam has a select limit of how many cucumbers are in the market or are available to people. They're not making any more of them, so whatever's out there is out there. You have to buy it off of somebody else. That gives it a bit of a value. There is no more supply. So, for any of these NFTs to have any value, you'd, for one, have to have an interest in the metaverse or whatever of some sort. Because otherwise I don't see any use of having... Like, what's the point of having an NFT if you're not going to have people come see it? Like, there's no value to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's just, really, just having it in your wallet is like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But then again, if you think about it, there's a lot of collectors out there that have shit at their house that nobody knows about. It just has value to them.
I suppose.
But
of course, these are hypothetical arguments about like what could make NFTs work. NFTs work. To clarify, I don't want them to work. Really, I don't think.
Because I think it's going to break.
I think they're conceptually stupid, and I don't like the way that they have been used.
Yeah, and I think they're going to break
far.
gaming and stuff like that. And, like, I think it's just going to break a whole lot of stuff.
And art, people are getting their art fucking stolen and resold on secondary NFT markets and all that lovely shit.
Yeah, it's making hackers. It's making more people want to be able to break into people's computers and steal their shit. Which, obviously, there's enough out there as it is. But the more digital value we have, the more people are going to be breaking into systems. And unfortunately, the way the internet is working, we're all moving towards... I don't know if you guys know anything about IPv4 and IPv6.
Is this the whole Web3 argument that's coming up?
Yeah. IPv6 is apparently super secure, but each device is accessible direct. Whereas IPv4, you have to have a modem in your house, which is your external IP. And then any traffic that goes to that has to be directed to the devices inside your network. Which gives you a layer of security. Because if somebody tries to access my computer from outside the router, they have to interact with the router, and then if they can get into the router, which the router usually declines all outside sources unless they're requested, or port forwarded ahead of time, but by default the router will just block any attempts to connect to it. But if they somehow bypass that function, they then have to scan the network for what devices are connected and then start trying to connect to those devices. Whereas
this other system is basically creating a system where it's like it goes directly to your computer.
Yes.
But the idea is to try to make it secure enough that that's okay.
Yeah, like I wish my roommate was still alive, because he wanted IPv6. He really, really wanted IPv6 because it saves the ability to have to port forward. So like for gaming, IPv6 is going to be great because I could host a game and not have to fight with my router to get you to connect to it. But that means that all of our computers are exposed directly. So if I connect to Discord, it's not going to say my external IP. Like, there's how many times have you had to go to like a website to say what's my IP, just to find your IP address?
I've had that problem.
Yeah. So now your computer will know your IP because your computer is the IP, which then means your system has to be more secure. So I don't know a lot about the whole networking thing. I'm not huge. That's why I said I wish my roommate was still alive, because he would be able to get in on this conversation and talk about how to secure a system and how to check if your system's secure. And he was also the guy that was always playing with Linux and basically, yeah. But we're all moving into IPv6 because of the amount of people we have. The reason our networks have to have a modem is because there's only so many variation in how many digits there can be. In IPv4, there's 4 segments of 3 separate numbers. And big portions of those sets of numbers are already blocked off for reusable things like the internal IPs. So like 190s and stuff like that. There's a website, I'm not going to pull it up, that'll tell you what those ranges are. And then there's a consumer range where our ISPs have access to. And then they have so many certain IPs that they have access to. And
we're running out of
yeah, there's so many people.
limitations.
There's so many people now in the world that if every single house in the world tried to have an internal or an IPv4 router, there would not be enough mutations, as you call it, or numbers.
Permutation. It's just
Permutation. That's
of...
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why IPv6 was created. It can go up to something like 700 billion or 700 trillion or something like that.
That should keep us going for a couple of years.
Yeah. But like I said,
Until the cloning sets in.
yeah. But that's why every device is going to have their own address, direct address, because there's so many now that we're not limited. But yeah, I don't even know how we got onto that. But oh yeah, because of the hackers.
NFTs.
Oh,
yeah.
NFTs
hackers,
suck.
Yeah, and they're going to make more hackers, and then we're going to be switching into this. I believe it's less secure, because if like they have direct access to your computer, and your computer's not secure, like most of ours. Do you have a firewall on your computer? Do you have anti-spyware on your computer?
I might.
You might. I'm not counting Windows Defender because I'm sure pretty much any hacker can get through Windows Defender and Windows Firewall.
McAfee?
McAfee, is it active? Are you paying for it? Is it a trial? So yeah, like
at least I'm not broadcasting my IP address just now.
yeah. So,
Got
but
that
even if
going
you
for me.
did, they'd have to get through your router first, and then scan your network for all the devices, and then get to your device, and then try to get through the Windows Defender. And yeah, hackers can do that. It's not hard. They have the ability to get through most network securities. And especially if you have a modem that's not updating its security protocols, then you're at risk. But we're one person out of how many billion in the world? Like, we'd have to put a target on our head to become the target of these people. We'd have to have a reason. And NFTs are now becoming a reason. We buy an NFT that's worth $300 million, and there's people that want to buy it. Well, now hackers will say, well, if I get it, even if I can't get the full price because it's known to be stolen, then I can sell it, and then that guy can resell it and resell it. Some people are going to get some money until it's been so lost in the world that it becomes valuable again.
Sure.
So it gets washed.
God, NFT laundering. Who would have thought that would have been a phrase we would have been
NFT
thinking about?
laundering. Oh my god! No matter how many times you wash an NFT, it never gets clean.
Yeah. But anyways, I think we should move on from this.
Yeah. I think
Every
it's time
time we get into
discuss.
NFTs, it becomes a long conversation because everybody has an opinion on NFTs, and in general, I can't. I try to fight for the good side, but I hate them. I really do.
There's
and
no good side to NFTs. Sorry.
I've tried. Like I've said, like the Steam wallet and like Steam things like that,
Mm.
but they have no value. Like, what's a couple dollars or $5 or even if it was up to $100? That's no value. It's not gonna have any value to a hacker. It doesn't put a big target on your head. You could say the same thing for having a lot of money, and people want to break into your house or something like that. But you know what? You have insurance for shit like that, and I don't know. NFTs.
Picturing people just robbing a nice house and they're just like, he's got no fucking cash on him. All he's got is fucking hash keys. For
Yeah,
his wallet.
NFTs. Oh, I got all these NFTs, but I don't know how to open
He's
his
just got
wallet.
a bunch of fucking monkey JPEGs.
All right, I think we should move or close this session. It went on and
Yeah.
on. So,
Announce the Tuesday special.
what's
Oh
the
my
Tuesday
God.
special? Oh, I'll let Duncan do it because he knows what it is because he's in
So,
it.
We've been talking about it a couple times over the last few weeks, but tomorrow is a very special day. It is the 2nd of or 22nd of February 2022, which if you spell that out in a certain way, it's a palindrome day. It's a palindrome
Yeah.
day. It's
It's a
same forwards
palindrome.
and
What's a
backwards.
palindrome?
It's the same as
Two
forwards
two
and
two
backwards.
two two.
Oh,
So like
just
the word,
five
the word
twos.
race car, for
Yeah.
example, is a palindrome. You spell it forwards and backwards the same way.
But there's 5 twos in there and there's 0.
No.
Like
If you go 22 2 22.
Well, yeah, but what happens if you go 02 22?
then
Then
you get
2022.
banned from the international community.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that it's a lot of twos, a lot of twos and zeros. It's a special day, and it's also a Tuesday.
So that's another
Um,
2, but it's
that's
spelled
another 2.
differently.
Yeah, well, you can't have it
Yeah.
all.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I
it's
want
the
it
funny
all.
of the week.
I want it
Because
all.
it's sort of like
I want it all.
because it's such a special day. We thought to celebrate, we would have a little bit of a special live stream, 5-hour long.
Minimum 5 hour.
Yeah, we may. Who knows? Maybe
It should be. It should be
some fun.
222 hour long stream.
Fuck that.
Just hand it over constantly.
Yeah, I'm working again on Wednesday. I took tomorrow off, but that's it.
Yeah. So it's gonna. Yeah, we're gonna start it at who's early today?
2:22.
I always forget who's earlier. Am I earlier? Or you're earlier,
Ryan's
right?
earlier.
We're the early.
Right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's
Start off
2:22
at
GMT.
2:22 p.m. in the UK, and we're going until at least 2:22 p.m. in Canada, or Eastern.
Which is
Standard
Eastern time.
Eastern time. If we go over, whatever. But that's our goal, is to at least hit that 5-hour window. We're gonna play a bunch of, 2-player,
two games with twos and more 2-player games, depending on what's happening.
Just to celebrate. We're calling it Tuesday, TWO''S day, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're spelling that one wrong. Oh my god.
Look, I generated a really, really average looking thumbnail for this as well. And it's in the Twitter notifications.
So wait, you made a thumbnail for that, but we haven't even made transitions for the news and what's been played. How dare you?
Well, yeah, Tuesday special only comes once in a generation.
I guess, but this comes every week. It should be a higher priority. It's all the time.
Yeah, well,
kidding.
you know what? We'll sort it. But yeah, so we've got a couple of games on the.
How about that?
Yeah. It's where your live notifications go. If you forget to tweet.
We're doing the number Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. Oh, I'm confused. Is it the number 2S day, or is it two as in the word Tuesday? Which is it, Ryan?
Just put a 2, the actual number 2 with a comma S. No, comma S, or
the point is we're
quote
playing,
S thing.
The point is it's Tuesday tomorrow. We're gonna play a bunch of 2-player games.
Yeah. Games with the number 2 or 2-player games or whatever is available.
Yeah, games
for
with
people.
number 2. Like sequels.
Check the news channel. That's how it should be spelled.
So I believe it's like on here. Andrea had brought up some suggestions of. Well, I think came up with the Game of Life 2 because it's 2. Some of the Jackbox games that are sequels. Our main event looks to be another run of Monster Camp, Monster Prom 2. So we'll just be going through through the games. Portal 2 could work on
Portal
there.
2 co-op would actually be an interesting one to do.
I believe there's going to be a core. There's the core 4 of us who thought of going through with this bonkers idea of Duncan, Stefan, myself, and Andrea, and then anyone else who turns up.
Yep, it's gonna be going on for a while, so stop by.
Well, if we're playing Portal 2, if you guys end up playing Portal 2, I have one achievement left to get for full completion.
Is it? Oh no, it's that.
Yep.
No, it's Area 4, isn't it?
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah. Complete the
Complete course
entirety of Area 4 without dying.
Yeah. Complete course 4 without you or your co-op partner dying. It's a hard one. You have to go through the whole all the missions.
Portal 2? I do own Portal 2.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, me and
I've
Terry
never
own Portal 2.
I've never beaten Portal 2.
We fucking stayed up for the early release.
Hey, do you remember? Actually, we'll get into this really quick. Do you remember the story of what happened with Portal 2? When
What, as
Portal
in-
2, I think the week or a couple of days before Portal 2 released, I had never played Portal.
Yes.
And you guys were all talking about how Portal 2 was going to be released. And I was like, what's Portal 2? And they're like, have you ever played Portal? I was like, no. I was like, I've never played Portal. So somebody sent me one of their free copies of Portal. Because they got a free copy.
I bought Portal and then bought the orange box later on down the line, so that was a free copy of
Well,
Portal
no-
that could be passed over to someone.
No matter what, if you pre-purchased Portal 2, you got a free copy of Portal.
There was that as well.
So everybody, I know you, Dan, Matt, pretty much everybody had pre-ordered Portal 2.
Mhm.
So, the day before Portal 2 came out, I burned through all of Portal 1.
Which doesn't take long. It's a very short game.
It's not a big game. No, it's a couple hours tops. Maybe 4 hours tops.
Yeah, if you have no idea what you're doing, it's like 3 or 4 hours kind of thing.
It's just a little puzzle game for anybody who hasn't played Portal. You have 2 colored portals, and you can just go between them. If you shoot them from a gun onto a wall. Specific walls can only be portaled, and you can walk through the portal and go to the other portal.
I feel like most people probably got an idea of Portal. It's a pretty ubiquitous.
Yeah, even if they
game
haven't
as,
played
any
it, there's
community.
been gaming
I feel
memes
like
about
there's
it,
been
stuff
enough,
like that.
like memes and gameplay footage. It's a very culturally significant video game.
But yeah,
The
so
big thing about it, though, there was the while Terry was bursting through that, the wrapping up of a month or 2 month long alternate reality game that was on Steam concurrent to the release of Portal 2 was happening at the same time. So there was a collection of games called the Potato Sack. It just came out. They didn't advertise what it was all about or what was going on, but there was just a bunch of indie developers who put their games together in this bundle that you could buy on Steam. Hidden in there through the patch notes were Portal themed stuff going on in the game, and then there were each of the games had hidden ways of getting potatoes, which later into Portal 2 is battery. They were basically a battery farm. So the whole story was that for every person who got an achievement involving a potato from the Potato Sack games, it would reduce or it would bring forward the release date of Portal, and it ended up being 6 hours early. So me and Terry started playing it at, for me, 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah.
But yeah, I burned through. I never got fully through my story, so I burned through Portal, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this game!" So I instantly went on to Portal 2's website or Steam for Portal 2 and pre-purchased Portal 2. So if anybody wants Portal, a copy of Portal, I still have it in my Steam library because I burned through Portal 1 and pre-purchased Portal 2 and got a free copy.
Yeah, we should make space somewhere in the itinerary for a Portal 2 co-op. I think that would be a good addition to that theme of a game.
Yeah, I'll definitely join for some of that. So
yeah,
I should be around for. Oh yeah, and if anybody ever wants a copy of Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot for Borderlands, I think it was it Borderlands 1 or 2? I don't remember.
Borderlands 1 that.
Sounds like 1, yeah.
I have a copy of that too. I bought extra copies at one point because I loved the Underdome Riot. I just loved it. I don't know if you guys remember, but I just constantly was playing it and getting people to play with me.
That sounds familiar.
Because that was the arena mode, wasn't it? So it was just
And I always wanted as many people as we could get into it so that we could get as far as possible. Yeah. And apparently I have a copy of Nether Resurrected. And Tabletop Simulator. Nether Resurrected is sort of like a first-person shooter multiplayer zombie survival thing with like it's almost like Left 4 Dead. They have like random big boss guys and stuff like that. I thought it was gonna be the new Left 4 Dead, and I bought a 2-pack of it or something like that.
Want to hear something really messed up?
What's messed up?
Portal 2 is 11 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
World.
And that's the old man's podcast then.
Yeah. All right. If you like what you see, everybody.
It's time to sign off. If you like this here stream, you gotta leave a like and a comment on the VOD, the vibe as the little boys and girls call it, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And don't forget, audio versions of this podcast are available everywhere as long as Ryan keeps doing them.
Yep, I'll keep doing it.
Goodbye, everybody. It's getting dark, as you can see. We're running out of daylight.
Gotta go take my prune juice and eat a fistful of medicine that does nothing.